At the door of their hut, father and son, Ghisu and Madhav, sat silently in front of a dying fire. Inside, Madhav's young wife Budhiya was writhing in the agony of childbirth. From time to time, heart-rending cries escaped her lips, sounds so painful that both men clutched their chests. Yet neither had the courage to go inside and look at her. They knew very well what they could do there. Nothing. They did not have a single coin to call a doctor or a midwife or to offer any help at all. Ghisu muttered, "It doesn't look like she'll survive. You've been running around all day. Go and see how she is." Madhav snapped irritably. "If she has to die, why doesn't she die quickly? What will I gain by looking at her?" The truth was that both of them were more worried about the roasted potatoes they had dug up from a nearby field. In their hurry, they were swallowing them while still burning hot, afraid the other might eat more. Ghisu was 60 years old and Madhav his 20-year-old son. Both were so notorious in the village that people hired them only when absolutely no one else was available. They were champions of laziness. If they worked for half an hour, they would smoke for an hour. Ever since Budhiya had come into the household, some order had appeared in their lives. She would grind grain or cut grass and somehow manage to feed these two shameless men. But today she was dying, and they were waiting for the moment when everything would become quiet so they could sleep peacefully. When morning came, Madhav finally went inside and found Budhiya cold and still. Flies buzzed around her mouth, her eyes were rolled upward, and the child had died in her womb. Now began the ritual of wailing and mourning. Because without tears, how would they receive sympathy from the villagers? Soon they went to the village landlord, who hated them.
He has no one else.
Still, a poor woman's body could not be cremated without a shroud. With disgust, the landlord threw 2 rupees at them. They collected a little more from shopkeepers and moneylenders, and by evening they had gathered 5 rupees, a large fortune for them. Under the pretense of buying a shroud, they went to the market. They wandered from shop to shop, looking at silk and cotton cloth. But Ghisu had something else in mind. He said, "The shroud will only burn with the body. What will she take with her?" Madhav readily agreed. As they walked along, they suddenly stopped in front of a liquor shop, and as if driven by some secret force, they went inside. They bought a bottle of liquor, some fried bread, meat, chutney, and pickles. They began to feast. A meal they had not seen in years. As the alcohol rose to their heads, so did their philosophy. Ghisu said, "Our daughter-in-law was truly fortunate. Even in death, she has fed us so well." Madhav burst into laughter and tears, saying, "She will surely go to heaven. She never hurt anyone." They gave the leftover food to a beggar and proudly said, "Here, eat well and bless her soul. The one who truly deserved this didn't get it, but you did." Finally, drunk beyond sense, they began singing and dancing there in the street. They stumbled, fell, got up, and swayed again, until at last they collapsed on the ground in a drunken heap. The satisfaction they had gained from Budhiya's shroud money had freed them, for a while, from all the sorrows of the world. This is Premchand's bitter truth, a world where hunger and poverty can completely erase human sensitivity.